I pulled a card this morning and I wanted to just share it with you. I'm going to drop an image of it here, but it is the Thorn. And this card is so beautiful, and it's interesting because if you saw my post today, I talked all about self-love and self-care and how it's not just about massages and really expensive, shiny things, right? Self-love and self-care is so much more than that. And one of my favorite ways of practicing self-love and self-care is creating and also maintaining really strong, healthy boundaries. Okay, so when you think of the rose is considered to be one of the most beautiful, just sensual, juicy energy flowers, right? Although myself and probably many others would argue that there is a lot of other flowers out there that could be considered that. But for the sake of this reading and this message, we're going to go with the rose. And when you think of the rose being so beautiful and so soft and so sensual, there's also thorns, okay? And the thorns really are there to protect it. When we see these gorgeous roses and we go to just grab one off a bush and just approach it all aggressive and however we want to, it's got its tiny little thorns that are like, no. I know what I'm worth, and you are not about to come up here with your aggressive energy, damaging my leaves and my petals and my beautiful color. Back off, right? And knowing this, what do we do when we approach a rose or a rose bush? We think to ourselves, this is possibly going to have some very spiky thorns that's going to prick my thumb, possibly even make me bleed, right? So I'm going to approach this rose bush or this flower with caution. I'm going to be gentle. I'm going to be loving. I'm going to be cautious. I'm going to respect it, right? And when you think of that in terms of a boundary, having a solid boundary in place like that, it opens up communication with people, but it sets a standard, right? When people are approaching you, they need to approach you with love. They need to approach you, not necessarily with caution, but maybe. But they need to approach you with gentleness, with loving kindness, with a softer energy. They can't just be coming all up at you, right? So when you think about this in terms of a relationship with someone, whether it be a romantic relationship, a coworker, a neighbor, a sibling, a family member, it doesn't matter. When you think of it in terms of a relationship, boundaries or your thorns are really there not to hurt anyone, right? But in an effort to protect yourself, make you feel safe, right? But also the other person, because you don't want this dynamic or this relationship where people are just coming at you with any type of energy and you're just reacting to it and responding to their icky, crazy, aggressive energy with your own aggressions, right? You want to be able to be this, beautiful divine being that you are, just like the rose. And you want to be able to walk through life feeling safe and trusting that everyone around you knows how to approach you and to approach you with love and gentleness, right? So it's not just for you, but it's also for them. It opens up clear communication. It also teaches people how they can treat us, right? And so when you think about that, in your relationships and things, where is it possible that you might need to set some stronger or firmer boundaries, right? And where are you feeling called to really need to communicate more of those? And it's interesting because I already posted that today. So it was already kind of coming through me. And then when I pulled a card and I said, give me a message that I can kind of share with the collective here. And it's a time for you to really decide who it is that you want to be. What is the energy that you want to maintain and project out there to people? What is the message? How do you want to be perceived by the world? And how do you want the world to perceive you and approach you? And the types of communications that you have. And when I say communication, I'm not talking about just sending a text messages, or sometimes you're dealing with keyboard warriors out there. I'm talking about the call. I'm talking about the communication that matters. And so I just invite you to really drop into this message today and really ask yourself, who is it that I want to be? How do I want to show up in the world? And how do I want to be perceived? And in what ways am I abandoning myself and my energy by not putting these strong and healthy, clear boundaries in place.